Brad, welcome aboard. Glad to have you.
Thank you very much.
Well, we're excited to have you here today. We're excited to see this aircraft fly and some of the special things about it. So tell me a little bit about what you do for Delta while we're waiting for the runway to clear and your airplane to get airborne.
So thanks for that. We have an exceptional team I work with that manages all the pilot training and pilot standards, which is the flight training in the aircraft for Delta Airlines. Three of the great members of my team are on this aircraft today.
So speaking of aircraft that we can see, down there to our left on the north end of the field is that big aircraft. It's got quite a special paint scheme on it. Now I have to know something, Brad, I got to tell you. I saw the airplane a little bit earlier. In Delta's partnership with Team USA, I've seen the incredible livery on the airplane, like I said. I've seen the commercials, I've seen the media, and it was unbelievable. But why the Olympics? What about the partnership between Delta and Team USA?
Great question, special answer. So Delta, we believe that moving together connects the world. When you think about it, nothing brings the world together quite like Team USA, the Olympic and Paralympic teams.
Awesome. So Brad, as the airplane that departs here, let's let it go by and let the folks listen to this spectacular sound.
Perseverance, resiliency, we're a natural fit together.
Awesome. So what's next for this partnership?
So this last year we began an 8-year partnership with Team USA. It started with the Olympics this last year, and so we'll carry it forward for another 8 years. This aircraft was designed, the paint scheme was designed by Delta people, and was painted by Delta people. We'll be carrying Team USA for the next 8 years, every 2 years, as they train for the Olympic, Winter Olympic, and Summer Olympic Games and the Paralympic Games.
Wow, awesome. So I think there's maybe a little more detail about this specific aircraft that we have here today beyond the paint scheme. Talk about that for just a minute for us.
So that's Ship 3411. It's A330-900neos. That aircraft was delivered last May in 2021. We painted it last December, so it would be ready for the last Olympic Games. It was our 10th new 330neo of an order. We have a 37. Right now, 15 are in our fleet.
Wow, that's awesome. And fans, as you see, the Perlin is still being towed in front, so as it goes by, be sure to wave and tell them thank you for being here. We appreciate that. So Brad, that aircraft going by was really big. So tell us a little bit about that. What kind of airplane is it? What do we need to know specifically?
Very different than the Airbus Glider in front of us, but the A330-900neo is a really remarkable airplane. Talking about innovation, which really is demonstrated today. It's an update to the 330-300, the kind of the classic Airbus 330s. The main difference in this airplane is its Rolls-Royce Trent 7000 engines. Those engines themselves are about 10 to 12% more efficient than the engines they replace. The fan is about 1 foot wider in diameter, but it's also 50% quieter than the engine it replaces. So it's more fuel efficient, it's bigger, and allows that aircraft to do some pretty special missions.
Wow, that's awesome. I noticed when it went by, when it go on departure, it rotated just about right in front of us. And a lot of times you can hear a much different fan noise as that goes by. And you're right, it was incredibly quiet as it went by us.
It's much lighter than normal, so that aircraft can take off at about 530,000 pounds. Today it's probably much more in the 300,000 pounds range. You can carry 300,000 pounds of gas. Today it's got about 30,000 pounds of gas.
Wow, awesome. Well, so I know for most of us in the audience here today, our connection to that aircraft in the future will probably be as passengers. So what's the customer experience like in that aircraft?
Well, good news is about hundreds of Oshkosh. We got to see the plane yesterday, so it's really a remarkable cabin. It's a 4-place cabin. It starts with 29 Delta 1 seats. Those are lie-flat suites in first class. Delta 1 seats. Then it's got 28 premium select seats. Delta Comfort. It's got 6 of those seats. 69 seats.
You got a great look at the bottom side of that aircraft, and the gear was retracting as it went by. You got to see the operation of the gear doors, and I know a lot of folks here are very interested in that. the flaps deployed still there in that turn as he went by. So you mentioned Delta One, and that's a special class in cabin. So talk a little bit about what is Delta One.
So Delta One we consider to be the most exclusive cabin in the industry. There's a 180-degree live flatbeds made by Thompson Aero Systems. You get access to chef-curated meals that are personalized for the local cuisine, so depending upon where you're going or where you're coming from, the food's going to match that area. You also have more stretch to lay out and relax. They're also very adjustable seats. But really, regardless of where you sit on the airplane, it's going to be a great experience.
Yeah, it looks like an amazing aircraft. So I know there's some people sitting up front flying that this afternoon. So tell us a little bit about the pilots that are flying today.
Easily the most special part of this. The controls, Captain is Karen Ruth. Karen is a lead line chief pilot for Delta Airlines. She began flying 2 years ago. Flying is passion and dedication. She's a recruiter. She's a leader here. She's a captain leadership facilitator for us. She's a hotel coordinator. The list goes on and on. She's a mentor. She's been a speaker at multiple women aviation conferences. She's more volunteer than I can believe.
Wow, that's awesome. So folks, direct your attention to the left to show center as you're looking eastbound from the crowd line. You see the aircraft circling in the left-hand turn towards us. This is where you're going to want to get your cameras on. This will be its last pass from left to right. So great opportunity to get a picture here, Brad. Tell us quickly about the other pilot that's sitting in front.
Absolutely. So in the right seat today, we have Sheila Baldwin. Sheila is equally remarkable. So Sheila is an instructor pilot on the 330. She's also a former F-15 Strike Eagle pilot. She retired as a lieutenant colonel from the Air Force. She has 2 Meritus Service Medals, 2 Airman Medals, and several Airman Achievement Medals. I just want to mention real quickly too, this is a massive honor. She is a local native from Kansas. Her mom and siblings are here today on the jump seat. Ryan's also a 330 instructor, local native, and his 2 sons are also aspiring pilots.
Awesome. So I know that Karen and Ryan are part of the Propel program. Talk about the Propel program for us.
Thanks. Great program for us. Also, we were career tent. So that program was created back in 2018 to identify, select, and develop the next generation of airline pilots and aviation enthusiasts. These are anything from college students or even Delta employees who are transition.
Well, that's awesome. I know we have a ton of future aviation industry folks here today in Oshkosh and online, watching it online to a worldwide reach right now, Ryan. And I know Delta is looking to hire a lot of folks in all facets of your airline. But I know pilots is specifically one area that you all are focused on hiring. How many pilots are you hiring?
So just this year we've hired 1,600. These are the pilots to retire. But we're also just in general, all the airlines are looking at hiring just in Delta Airlines. So we've been hiring over 200 pilots for the last about 7-8 months, so 200 year to date, and we'll be hiring, they won't slow down the deal. So at least 2,000 pilots a year going forward.
That's awesome, and I know it takes a lot more than just pilots to make an airline operate, right? Just pretty much anything you can think of, career-wise, job-wise, probably has a function, not only in the industry, but with Delta Airlines. What other things is Delta doing for the future aviation industry?
So Delta partners across the board. We believe not just connecting the world, it's got to start with local. So we partner with multiple organizations, also looking for opportunities for us to, like you mentioned, whether it's maintenance. Yesterday, when we came in and landed, there were 90 Delta professionals on an airplane that came across the whole organization of tech ops, mechanics, our sales team, marketing, flight attendants, dispatchers. With 80,000 Delta employees, they're important to me. By far not the
I know one other area that Delta is doing in outreach and trying to grow the industry has to do with Dream. Talk about what Dream Flight is.
With our dream flight return last year after a several-year absence due to COVID, one of the things we believe is important, again, is making sure we make aviation as inclusive as possible. So we partner with multiple organizations. Thanks for that. That was beautiful. It's kind of, if you don't get goosebumps, you're not paying attention. So we've funded over 600 scholarships to inspire greater interest, provide access to programming for future leaders in aviation. Across the board, we've donated close to $100,000 this year, partnered with organizations like Women in Aviation.